If we are being completely honest with ourselves, yes, we all expected it. But at the same time, in a very real way, we had no idea what to expect. For most Zelda fans, that trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 was enough to make the E3 Nintendo Direct a success, or at least it was for me. Much like the trailer we got 2 years ago, it wasn't very long, there wasn't much there, but at the same time, there was also a ton there for us to take in, digest, and of course theorize about. Nintendo, and more specifically the creators of the series that is The Legend of Zelda, know how to give us exactly what we want, but at the same time, not give us enough and leave us begging for more. I'm sure I am not the first to discuss these things, and I certainly won't be the last. But here are 10 things I believe we need to pay attention to from this E3 Nintendo Direct Breath of the Wild 2 2021 trailer. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice discussing, of course, Breath of the Wild 2 and its new trailer. As previously mentioned, it was not a long trailer, but it definitely gave us a lot to digest. Like I'm sure many of you dedicated fans out there, I have watched the trailer too many times to count at this point, and I just first viewed it maybe, 5 hours ago, because I was late to the game. And also, as aforementioned, I'm sure those that actually got to watch the E3 Nintendo Direct the day of its release, I couldn't because I was kind of working the entire day, have already made theory videos and all these different discussions about these things. But nevertheless, these are 10 things that stood out greatly to me upon each of my viewings. The first thing that I noticed in the trailer is arguably quite small and probably completely insignificant, but nonetheless it did stand out to me. This is at the very beginning when Link's hand is being overcome by malice and we hear a piercing screaming sound. Right away, we can recognize that this is the same sound the Blight Ganons make when they are dying. Why is this happening? Is this just what malice in general sounds like? Is this what it sounds like when it's specifically dying, as that's the only time we've ever really heard it? Does it have anything to do with what we were being shown on screen at the point that we hear it? Or was it just a cool sound effect? Things to ponder. The second thing on this list is something that I'm sure we all noticed, and that was Zelda being dropped into the abyss. Now, for some reason, my memory recalled that in the first trailer, he didn't drop her. But I guess that's not so. She does end up falling at some point. This also kind of possibly confirms that we will not be getting a playable Zelda, which I am totally fine with and am personally in favor of. It doesn't completely eliminate the possibility, I will grant you that. It does, however, mean that yes, we are rescuing Princess Zelda in this game. I know a lot of people will have some beef with this, but I'm okay with that basic storyline. Again, it's about gameplay, is it not? That's usually Nintendo's #1 focus, and I have no problem with them rehashing kind of an old story if they're giving it new elements, which we know they are, because dehydrated Ganondorf and Link's hand and getting ahead of myself. But yes, we will be rescuing the princess as we have in most previous Zelda games. The third thing on this list is something that while I have not let myself watch any theory or discussion videos yet, I have seen little snippets of discussion about this, and that is the concept of there being a new Link. This discussion is occurring because of that snippet where Link is falling from the sky and he's in a completely different outfit, and it looks very Skyward Sword-esque but also very ancient. Thus, theories are already rising to say that this is the Link from 10,000 years ago. I'm not going to say that's not a possibility because Nintendo will do anything, but I believe the more obvious answer here is that it's just a different outfit. Breath of the Wild has a myriad of outfits and weapons, and we see this in the trailer. He has new shields and swords and weird weapons like on his left hand, like some gunfire thing or whatever that we've never seen before. So odds are this is just a new outfit, not a completely different Link. Number 4 on this list is that it's not just Hyrule Castle in the air. Funny thing, right before I started my live stream to react to this Nintendo Direct, I had watched a theory video by Monster Maze where he suggested that maybe more areas pop into the air, rise out of the ground, because someone had pointed it out to him in a trailer and it seemed somewhat feasible. Now it is confirmed we will be exploring the sky, and seeing as one of the lead creators of Skyward Sword is also the lead creator of Breath of the Wild, kind of makes sense if you ask me. But this leads me into number 5, which is that there are new buildings on these sky areas. Not all of them, but particularly in that scene ahead where we see Link like clipping through solid rock. I have never seen that structure. Now, Breath of the Wild is a big game, and I've never even found all 900 Korok seeds, so if you've seen that specific structure in the game, please comment below and let me know exactly where it is so I can find it and dispel this thought in my head that maybe there's something different going on up in the sky. I don't know, imagination goes crazy. I don't know, is it just stuff from the ground, or was this just a new building? Was this stuff always there and we didn't know it? I don't know. The mind wanders. Number 6 is something we all wanted, which was new enemies and new enemy tactics. Now, in terms of what we actually see in the trailer, it's just a talus under a weird structure that we're used to seeing with bokoblins, but bokoblins with really long horns. And while that may not seem like much, that tells me 2 things. 1, that's a hint to new enemies and new ways that we're gonna need to fight them, which is already exciting in and of itself. And 2, that different kinds of monsters are going to be working together now. Because previously, sure, moblins, bokoblins, lizalfos, they worked together, and I guess choo-choos, but you didn't usually have stone taluses or the hinox working together. You could actually make them fight each other, which was hilarious. Either way, different types of enemies and new tactics. Sounds like fun to me. Now, number 7 is something I did not actually notice on my first viewing, but on my second. And it is arguably, next to exploring the sky, the biggest thing in this trailer. And that is the renewing of Link's right arm. There have been a myriad of videos speculating on what the hand holding dehydrated Ganondorf was. I even had a video with Hyrule Gamer where I suggested that this was like the combined powers of Zeldas of the past. You can watch that video here if you would like. Just make sure you read my pinned comment for clarification on something. But in this little cutscene, we see Link laying down, not in his normal champion tunic like we saw him in the first trailer when the hand first grabs him, but what looks to be some sort of stone bed, kind of resembling the resurrection shrine, maybe not, but it almost looks like this hand is healing him, and it looks like a mix of his arm and hand as well as the creepy hand and arm. Like, it's really long nails, and it looks like it's healing him in some sort of way, or even transforming him, almost playing into that idea that we got with the concept art where it was like biomechanic, weird mechanical Link mixed. Do you remember the concept art? That was pretty cool. So it seems like it's playing off of that. And this leads me to number 8, which is the fact that we don't have to use the Sheikah Slate, because you see in the trailer that Link uses his bare hand to use some weird new fancy form of stasis. I'm guessing all of the Sheikah Slate abilities are going to be upgraded. And actually, in that part where we see the water like drain or dry up, I thought that might be a different form of Cryonis, or maybe just a new ability that would afford us the different ability to maybe explore underwater but not actually go underwater, if that makes sense. Perhaps we can go to ponds and lakes now and drain parts of them with this new power and be able to get to new dungeons, to get to do different, I don't know, there's just so many possibilities. My brain hasn't quite processed it all yet. But on that note, the Sheikah Slate, where is it? Pretty sure it's with Zelda, so perhaps it fell with her down the hole. If that's the case, she can probably fend for herself a little bit, assuming they were able to fix it to be usable like it was in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Speaking of falling underground, number 9, are we going to explore underground too? Now yes, it was confirmed that we're going to be exploring the sky, they flat out said this, but that doesn't mean we won't be exploring underground. We know this from especially the first trailer, in which we actually do see Link and Zelda and some weird animal underground. Oh, and a rat. All that stuff is underground, but that doesn't mean it's just that area that we're going to be exploring. There could be plenty of other areas, they just haven't shown it yet. That would be really cool. I'm still holding out for that possibility, because cool dungeons. We're going to have dungeons, right? Please. Please give us dungeons. And for number 10, my last thing, I just want to point out that strange music at the end. Not the very end, although that music was really, really cool sounding. But the music we hear when Link goes through that solid rock mass. It's like what we heard in the first trailer, that really creepy backwards vocal thing that we hear. In this, it is slightly different, and I'm just wondering how it plays into the game. How it plays into the story, how it plays into the gameplay. What is it making these sounds? I'm so curious. Y'all know me in music. I'm so curious. Oh, and speaking of new abilities, I guess Link can just clip through anything now. Okay. Also, just quick note to self. Honorable mention, I guess. If he's falling in that one scene, does that mean he doesn't have to have a paraglider? Are we gonna have loft wings? Or something? There's a lot to unpack here. But for now, that will be it for my list of 10 things that I think we all need to take note of in this new amazing trailer. I'm sure there are plenty of other things that I have missed, and I'm going to be watching all the YouTube videos of some of my favorite YouTube content creators and their discussions, their analysis. I just want more, and I know you want more. We all want more. It's one big, crazy, awesome discussion, and I'm very, very excited. And I'm not disappointed that we have to wait till 2022, because if that means the game will be better if we have to wait, that's fine. That's fine. We waited a long time for the first one. We can wait a while for the second one. It'll be fine. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts and things that maybe you saw that I didn't, or things that maybe I saw that you didn't and you were glad I pointed out. I don't know. And if you did enjoy this video, consider joining the geekdom by subscribing. We're on our way to 8,000, I guess now. That'd be cool if I could get to 10,000 by the end of the year. That would be interesting. But, you know, I have less than 6 months, so maybe not. But either way, let me know if you enjoyed it, and again, join the geekdom if you can. And thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which reminds me, I need to set up our movie night, because that is a perk of some of the Patreon tiers, is that you get to do a movie night with us as a group, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, so maybe check that out, patreon.com/thegeekapprentice if you want. But anyway, that is all for today, y'all. Thank you for watching.